Hey everyone. So I wanted to make another video about what this channel is going to be all about. In my first video, I didn't feel like I dove in deep enough. So in this video, I really wanted to just kind of dive a little bit deeper. So one phrase, don't make me move, think, or wait. If you could decrease people moving, thinking, or waiting, then that's going to lead to financial growth or business growth. And in this video, I'm going to show you and give you examples to prove just that. Hi, my name is Ron Thomas. Welcome to Logical Money, where we optimize convenience and maximize growth. So in this video, we're going to take a look at moving, thinking, and waiting. And to do that, Amazon is like a master of this. And this is why they've seen such great growth. So if you think about Amazon, you think about you don't have to leave your home. The product that comes to you, you can pretty much guarantee it's going to be good. You looked at the reviews. You didn't really have to think about whether it's going to be safe, where it's at in the delivery process. And then finally, you don't have to wait. It's going to be there same day or next day. So that's a great example of when you focus on decreasing someone moving, thinking, and waiting from a consumer standpoint, that's convenient, and that's going to lead to business growth. So I want to take a look at each individually. So if you look at moving, you can think of it in kind of two ways. Moving as far as distance. So in Amazon case, you didn't have to go to the store. And then if you look at it from a like energy or effort level, then because it's not necessarily distance, it's also could be like if someone has a trial period for like a software and you have to go back and cancel your trial credit card and all that information, why not just make that the default so you don't have to go back? If you really want the product, you'll go back and you'll put all that information in later. That would be a lot more convenient. So that causing you to make and take more steps and energy level. So think of it in moving in those two terms. So if we go on to thinking, then, and from the Amazon situation, you have reviews, you have ratings, you can look at what customers who have already purchased, what they've gone through. Is the product safe? Is it going to meet my needs? You don't have to think about that. Amazon puts it front and center. So it's just not anything that you have to consider when you're thinking about what's going to happen with my product. So that's kind of explanatory about the thinking part of it. Now the waiting part, of course, with Amazon is really clear. Next day, same day, you're going to get that product, because we know that people have short attention spans and they do not like waiting for a product. They don't like standing in line. They don't like waiting for a website to load. So we all know that waiting leads to leaving. You're going to leave. And it doesn't necessarily just apply to business. I mean, I think it applies to relationship. I think it applies globally. Just think if you wanted to impress someone and if you offered to meet them halfway or to come pick them up or meet them closer to where they live, it's going to make it more convenient for them. And then if you kind of planned out the day, made all the arrangements, told them what's going to be on the menu and all that stuff and dress code and all that, they didn't have to think. And then, the biggie is if you have to make them wait, I mean, it's going to destroy your date. So like I said, it's kind of a global thing, and it's kind of really simple. I think the pandemic has made more businesses pay attention to it, and they are starting to make that change, because the pandemic has almost forced them, because they had to meet the customer or their audience where they were. So this really is how consumer trends and patterns and behaviors, is what moves trends, because people always going to want more convenience. And the more convenience they get, the more they're going to want more. And they're going to find the company that delivers that. So that's just, part of it. Now, the tricky part is you have to identify inconveniences in your current environment. So, and that's where the work comes in. So you have to look at data, both qualitative and quantitative, and that could be in your analytics, in your surveys, reviews with customer support. So you need to mine that data and look for where there's inconveniences for the consumer. And as a data guy, I'm actually a certified data analyst, so I'm definitely qualified to speak on this subject. That's what I'm kind of passionate about. So, and this is what this channel is going to be all about, diving into identifying where those inconveniences are for the consumer. So really, to optimize convenience, you really want to decrease distance, thought, and time. And if you can remove that burden from your consumers or from your audience or from whoever you want to impress, you're going to go a long ways to impressing them. And you're going to see growth, whether that's financial, whether that's in a relationship, whether that's subscriber growth, whatever growth you want, make it more convenient, you'll see it. So let me wrap up with one last thought. The pandemic has also created the great resignation. What working from home and working remotely has done to workers. They found out that it was more convenient. So looking at what the pandemic did, it made them travel less. It made them not have to think, what I got to wear today, what I have to do for the kids, do I have to get gas? Didn't have to think about these things. And then, of course, they didn't have to wait in traffic. So again, it comes down to don't make me move, don't make me think, don't make me wait. So I'm going to leave it there. I really appreciate you guys for joining, and I hope you found value. Take care.